everyone. Today's video is a very interesting one, and as always, it is intended to offer education and reassurance and never intended to replace your regular well-child visits with your pediatrician or your family practice physician. So today's topic is all about baby boys and all the many things that parents worry about with a newborn baby boy. So first of all, there is another video, a circumcision video, and it explains care for both the circumcised and uncircumcised penis. And so certain things can vary depending on which way you decide to go. So feel free to reference that other video for more information about making that decision. If you do decide to go with circumcision, the baby's glands will be exposed, and a very frequent call we get both during the daytime and even overnight in a panic mode is from parents who are concerned because the glands of the penis can have a purplish hue or a purplish color, and that's actually just fine. So I don't want you to worry about that. Another frequent call that we get is if the baby boy is warm, maybe in a warm bath, and you happen to observe the scrotum, and you should see both testicles descended down into the scrotum. But a lot of times if the baby is cold, if you accidentally tickle on the upper thigh, there's a reflex called the cremasteric reflex. And for some babies, it's a very vigorous cremasteric reflex, and it'll just pull that little testicle right up, and it looks like it's undescended or missing, and it's not necessarily. So you'll notice at all the baby well visits, we generally check to see how the circumcision is doing early on if it was circumcised, but we also will just make sure that we can verify that both of the testicles are descended. And so sometimes in the office it's cold though. If our hands are cold, if the office environment is cold. So I have sometimes, if I wasn't able to milk it down the little inguinal canal, ask the parent just, well, when they're in a warm bath at home, just make sure that you do see both that are descended. And if not, it's still not a cause for panic. We will refer, not on an emergency basis, nothing to be alarmed over, but we will refer to a urologist for further management for that. But it's very common for the baby just to be cold and for it not to obviously appear down in the scrotum. Another thing that we see quite frequently that absolutely terrifies parents, but it's really just so sweet, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. There's nothing bad or dangerous about it. Is when you have this chunky little baby boy. So in that diaper area, just above the penis, is the suprapubic fat pad. Well, if your baby boy is really extra chunky, sometimes that suprapubic fat pad is so extensive that the penis itself is basically like swallowed up in all of that, like this giant marshmallow of baby pudge. And so parents will really panic because it is sort of an optical illusion and it makes the penis appear very small. Now there is a genuine medical concern. It is in the endocrine department. If a baby has an actual micro penis, that can mean some more dangerous things could be going on. But if your baby's penis basically just completely disappears because of the pudge, but you can push gently beside of it all that fat and it pops out in its normal size, there's really no worries at all. The only concern about that, and we have lots of cute names for it, the only concern about that is that if they are circumcised, remember we talked about it's easy for the edge of the remaining foreskin to develop penile adhesions and grow up onto the glands of the penis, and that's easier to happen if they do have this condition. So we call it, some people call it a buried penis. Some people call it an inconspicuous penis. That's my favorite. Some people call it a shy penis or a turtle penis because it's like the turtle when they're inside of their shell. But the good news is it is temporary. As the baby grows up and starts walking and exercises more and slims down and that prominent suprapubic fat pad goes away, the penis will be, obviously it's just regular normal size. So I don't want you to worry about that. Another thing that we get a lot of calls about is if around the edge of the foreskin, especially if it started just a tiny bit of a penile adhesion, you can see a little bit of a white core, like a little white circle right under that skin that's growing up and trying to attach to the glands. So as that detaches with gently pushing back and Vaseline with diaper changes, you may see that little white plug thing just fall out and leave behind it sort of a red raw crater. This is tiny. It sounds bigger when I'm describing it. And so you can just also put Vaseline on that little red spot that's left behind, and that little white dot is called a smegma pearl. that word smegma is exactly what it sounds like. It's just kind of junk, dead skin cells all clumped together, and it smells gross. But it's not dangerous. It'll just fall out, and then keep Vaseline on there. Now, obviously, if the baby's uncircumcised, you never forcibly pull back the foreskin or retract it. But with circumcised babies, especially if it is trying to grow on and form some penile adhesions, you do need to put some Vaseline with diaper changes and just gently pull it back. So, purple glands, normal. Retractile testes, normal. Buried or inconspicuous penis, normal. And smegma pearl, normal. So I hope that this has been educational and reassuring, since those are our goals. And it would be most excellent if you guys would consider subscribing to this channel and give me a like. About 90% of my views are by folks who are not subscribers, so it's completely free to subscribe. So I would appreciate that very much. Thanks.